We're going to take a quick look at some sunflower here, which are well past my scheduled harvest date mostly because I'm lazy, really. So I just want to take a look at a few things here. So this is December 2nd today. These are probably supposed to be harvested yesterday or the day before. I apologize, I'm not keeping better track. And there's a couple things I'm looking at here. So number one, it's a very good sized crop. I'm really happy with the size, especially after my last one. Definitely going to be my highest harvest here. So there's a couple things I'm looking at here just of note. So one is that one of the things I've mentioned about this seed stock is that it's a variable size. And so for a crop that's this mature, I shouldn't see any hulls on here whatsoever. So we see this variation here where I've got this shoot here that's like I can't even pull that off. It's so tight on. This one as well. These guys here, really immature. And then we've got these ones here, which have a very well developed true leaf. So you can really tell the true leaves from seed leaves just by the texture and the shape. And generally at this point, these are going to start getting bitter. And one of the things about microgreens that I've found is one of the valuable things about them is to not have that bitterness. Now these I think are still going to be edible, especially if they're prepared in the right way, but it's definitely over mature. So this is just looking at that again where you see one like this is very small. And then we've got this one here that's got a bit of a leaf. So there's a lot of variation here, which again is due to the seed. So this is something to really watch for when you get seed, is look for variability in the size. And as I've mentioned before, I find a lot of the seed from Italy that I get through mums is quite variable. Seed I get from Canada and the US is very consistent. It has its own sort of characteristics, but this inconsistency in seed size is one of the things that is probably the biggest challenge to deal with, and one of the things that drives me the most nuts. Couple other things that I'm noticing. So one of the things with this crop is for a couple days being a couple days overdue, it should be bigger than this. And anybody want to take any guesses why it's not bigger than this? And I can't hear you, so you don't have to say anything. So if you remember, I'm now using these trays from Bootstrap Farmer. They're the 1020 trays that are 1 inch tall. Great trays. They're working really well so far. Been really easy to clean, super strong. They're going to last years. So I'm paying more, you're getting more for that. But they are 1/4 of an inch shallower than the trays I've used before. And so what I think is happening is there's a point here where the growth really slows down because there's very limited rooting space. So we can maybe take a look here. We'll see if I can do this gracefully. And, oh, I cannot. Well, we'll see. So actually, I would have expected to see more this clinging in together a little harder there. So I'm going to have to actually go in there and I'll harvest this. I'll take my weight, and then I'm going to take a look at the roots here and get a sense of, are we getting some girdling or is there something else happening? I'll admit with my previous crops, the root development looked pretty good. It didn't look like there was a lot of limitation there. And judging from this, I can still see there's actually space within there. And if this was a wheatgrass, a well-developed wheatgrass or a pea crop, there's no way I'd be able to lift that out like that. So a few factors there. It could be watering. I let it get today. Oh, sorry about that. So yeah, there's a few things I need to look at there. I won't make too many assumptions. So yeah, so this is what a mature crop looks like with variable seed. And once again, you're going to see stuff with really well-developed leaves, and then stuff where you've got just the seed leaves here. So, oh, look, I see a question here. Oh my God. Okay, then now the question disappeared. I'm having uneven growth. Some shoots sprout far later than the others. How to remedy this? So, the issue is there. So in this case, with sunflower, it's variability in seed size. Is it sunflower that you're talking about? And you have to answer quickly because might be a bit of a delay. In a lot of crops, so I would say there's two factors in growth variability. Actually, potentially three. So one is seed size for sure. Smaller seeds have less energy in them and generally are less vigorous, grow slower, germinate a little bit later. The second one is variability in soaking time. Some stuff is going to germinate a little quicker, some is going to germinate a little later. And as we saw with the spelt, which is right here actually, which is still a little bit very, very sparse, is that some of the seeds will germinate with 20 minutes soaking time, others need longer. And generally, the longer soaking time to accommodate the seeds that need it doesn't adversely affect the ones that can germinate with a shorter soaking time, to a limit. You soak things for 24 hours and they only need an hour, that seed's probably not going to like it, and I've had that before. The other factor is going to be temperature. Some seeds might germinate at a cooler temperature, where others within the same batch are only going to germinate at a warmer temperature. That type of variability, that genetic variability, is going to exist to a degree within all crops. Now, the range of variability is going to depend on the particular lot, the genetics of that crop, and even when it was harvested. Was everything harvested at peak maturity? Was it sorted well afterwards? So there's a lot of factors there that you can't control and probably can't really be aware of without sort of inside information. So the ones you do have some insight into are seed size, soak time, and temperature. So those are going to be the three things to watch out for the most. As I said, there will almost always be genetic variability within a crop, but usually it's reasonably consistent, even with open pollinated crops. That's one of the goals of an open pollinated crop, is to have it fairly consistent. If you are growing hybrid seed, you should have very, very strong uniformity. And I have some of my early videos when I was growing hybrid seed from North Dakota. Looking at those trays, it was like looking at a carpet. It was absolutely perfectly even all the time. And that's one of the characteristics you get with hybrid seed. So something to keep in mind there. So that's about it there. Hopefully that's some insights into maturity variability. I am going to harvest these now, and I'm taking bets on tray weight. I'm going to guess this one is 510 grams. Go ahead and throw your guess in the comment box, and I'll post that as soon as I can. Yeah, thanks for watching.